the Kirby Business Assistance Grant now.
Business assistant grant. We talked about that, where the funding was coming from, and that it hasn't been used, I think, except twice in the last year. And we talked about the quarterly business meetings, maybe starting those up again early next year. And then also the text messaging, the cost for that. So that's what we went over in the meeting.
And next up is Planning and Zoning Commission. That would be myself. I don't think we've had a quorum in a while. Is that correct, Monique?
They had one in October. They did have a meeting in October. And we already, that one property that was on our last agenda was from that meeting. They are not going to meet this month. Their next meeting is second Tuesday in December, and they have requested to review that drainage study that just came out and the street assessment plan from 2019. They want to look at those and see if they have any recommendations they'd like to bring to council.
Yeah, I apologize. I completely have lost track of this because we haven't had a meeting since October. Okay. Last on the list is number 7, Senior Center Board, Corporation Board is Councilmember Street.
Okay, our October meeting, we were presented a check for $500 from Herman Sons Lodge as a donation. Yes, very nice. We're going to be having a workshop for fundraiser, to plan fundraisers for the next year. That was postponed to, I guess, next month. They are increasing the senior center hours to now be from 8 to 4 p.m. instead of 8 to 3. And they're continuing to get bids for fixing the gazebo. We're still working on that. And what else? That's like it for now. They have a meeting next week.
So when are the regular board meetings? Is it every?
Regular board meeting is second Monday of the month,
Second month.
unless there's a holiday, and then it's bumped to Tuesday usually.
And I just asked, because we had an inquiry here, because we used to post the agendas here when they were sent to us, but we don't get them anymore, so if somebody asked, I would just refer them.
I'll remind them and ask them to send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask a question? What is the cost estimate of the gazebo? Of like wanting to get fixed? Because it's been going on for so long, and I just think we have so many.
There were some legal issues with the previous guy who started to fix it, but then didn't fix it correctly.
What's
And
that? Can I ask Norma what the cost estimate is? She's right here. Is that okay or no? Ms. Norma, do you know the cost estimate?
So I've got 3 bids
Yeah,
already
she's
for our
got 3
next
bids.
meeting.
So like, what's the dollar amount? Around about estimate? Any of them, just say so.
I'm sorry?
What the level is, the cost, the bids.
So one is for 12,000, the other one is 5,300, and the other one is, I think it's 10. So that will be addressed at our next board meeting. I do have them already because it has been a long time, and I want to get it fixed. So that's going to be in our next board meeting. It would have been in on our workshop, but since it was Halloween, there was not that many people that was going to be there for the meeting, so.
Okay, thank you.
Norma, let me ask you a question.
I got it again.
This is something that is impossible sometimes, but I noticed now that the board has been torn down and different things. You know that orange kind of a portable fencing thing they use sometimes on construction sites? I know there are several different companies that have that available. It's not that expensive. I would just like to see if y'all would consider maybe putting it around that. I don't want to see a kid get hurt.
Right.
And like I said, I was going to say one board that's come down and a lot of things, but the last thing y'all need is any kind of a problem. And, just trying to think of the name of the company, it's out on 90. But, I mean, it wouldn't take too much to put it around and just name it the place.
I think somebody brought that up because that, yellow tape, it does
Now,
not.
yeah, well, it
Doesn't
gives,
work at all.
in the evening time, when you are gone, it, you know, it becomes another meeting place. And I realize that kids get a place to go, I got no problem with that, But at this point in time, we all know that if Junior gets hurt, Mom's gonna have a fit. And I don't, but even though she doesn't control it, y'all don't control it. So maybe to be on the safe side, you might consider that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, council members, for your reports on your boards and commissions. Moving on to 6H, discussion and possible action on appointment of a member to the Economic Development Committee. I do not believe that we have any applicants. Moving on. I, discussion and possible action on appointment of a member to the Beautification and Recycle Committee. I don't believe we have any applicants for that either. Okay. J, update and discussion on City of Kirby crime statistics. Come on up, chief.
It sounded like a movie, with Jim Carrey in it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's one of my favorite movies, so I appreciate it, that was really great. So, good evening, council, and some of the members here, civilians. We're gonna talk about crime statistics. These statistics are gonna be, we're gonna go into what UCR is, Uniform Crime Reporting. We're gonna go into what you saw on the media, some of the numbers, how they got those numbers, and what the numbers are right now for the last year. John, plug it in this time. Did you plug it in? Yeah.
Did you turn it on, chief?
Oh, see, now it's technical now.
They don't teach that in the academy.
No, I appreciate it.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. All right, so uniform crime reporting, what is it? It generates reliable statistics for use in law enforcement. It provides information for students on criminal justice, researchers, media, and the public. It includes data from more than 18,000 city, university, and college, county, state, tribal, and federal law enforcement agencies. Now, there's two different parts, and there's also increments. I'm just going to go over the main points. Part one, index crimes broken down into two categories, violent and property crimes. Violent crimes include aggravated assault, forcible rape, murder, and robbery. Property crimes are arson, burglary, larceny, theft, and motor vehicle theft. Part two is simple assaults, curfew offense, loitering, embezzlement, forgery, counterfeiting, disorderly conduct, driving under the influence, drug offenses, offenses against family, prostitution, public drunkenness, runaway sex offenses, stolen property, vandalism, vagrancy, and weapon offenses. Now, on the media, you saw this chart. Number one, and these are areas ranked per capita, and we'll talk about that. Balcones Heights, number one, San Antonio below Balcones Heights, and then we landed third. Now, this is the next chart. And if you look at it, it's gonna tell you a population. It tells you the police department, the population. It tells you the property crime incidents, the violent crime incidents, and the violent crime rate per capita. We're just gonna talk about the first three. So Balcones Heights, where is it on the list? On the very bottom has a population of 2,746 people. Their property crime rates is at 203 and violent crime incidents at 50, which puts their violent crime rate per capita at 1820 per 100,000 people. The second one was going to be San Antonio. San Antonio has a population of 1,434,625. Property crime incidents are going to be 57,057. And then violent crimes are 11,569. Their violent crime rate per capita, or 100,000 people, is 806.41. Now Kirby landed number 3. And where are we at? We have a population listed as 8,142, property crime incidents at 78, violent crime incidents at 64, which landed us at a crime rate per capita at 786.05. Now, how's that broken down? You got Kirby population at 8,142, you got violent crimes that were reported at 64, property crimes at 78, and per capita means per 100,000 residents. Now, we don't have 100,000 residents. We do not have that. If we were compared to 10,000, that's a little bit more appropriate, and our numbers wouldn't skyrocket the way they did. The way they got that number is, they took the violent crimes and they divided it by our population, which equaled 0.00786, but you multiply that by 100,000, and that's the number that they got. That's not, our number is 64 violent crimes out of 8,142 residents. It's not as bad as it looks.
That's why I was asking.
This is
That's all I
why
wanted to say.
8,064 didn't get it.
It's more like 7%.
Yeah, that's something.
Right.
Yeah.
But because they do it per capita, it does make it look explained. And Balcones Heights with 2,000 residents superseded San Antonio. Yes, they have a lot more crime than San Antonio does.
With all the businesses there in Balcones Heights, if you put a daily estimate of people, it's skyrockets.
Right. So I kind of want to talk about the Kirby crime stats a little bit. It's going to be between July 2020 to July of this year. Now, the reason I did it that way is because we just transferred into a new program that allows me to grab these stats for you guys. And everything before July was a very, very old program that did not pull those. I would have to manually check them. So July 2020 to July 2021, calls for service to include police, fire, and EMS, we did 15,090 calls. Police calls for service alone is 12,054, and incident reports were 3,926. And those are reports that we get and we actually write down and type out. The violent crimes as of that time period right now, 22 for aggravated assaults. And keep in mind, these are just allegations. It doesn't mean the person was arrested, it doesn't mean they were convicted. It was just a report. So aggravated assault is 22, sexual assaults were 7, murder is 0, robbery is 2. For property crimes, we've had 23 burglaries, motor vehicle thefts at 39, larceny theft is 68, and arson 6. That is all I got. Any questions for me?
That makes a lot better sense, no one looks near as bad as what to do. That's what I want to get clarified for the citizens. But I got some calls and they were worried, their families wanted to move out of Kirby, and no,
Yeah.
it ain't that bad. But I appreciate you doing this, and I know they're watching, and they'll see. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
If I may, they talked about it, but did anybody go out on the street Halloween night? Do you realize how many people are brought to Kirby, to trick or treat in Kirby, because they know their kids are safe? I mean, seriously,
I know there's candy.
That's true, but I'm just saying, all kidding aside, our little city right here is not encapsulated as it used to be when I first moved here. But still, when you go out and you watch, these people bring kids, and it's wonderful actually that they do bring. It's a compliment to our city and to our police department, and actually to our fire department too, because if something happens, we're gonna be there in a couple of minutes. So thank you, Chief, and local chief.
Can I get a copy of that?
Absolutely.
So I have the numbers in case somebody else asks me.
Absolutely. I'll put it out for you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And
Any other questions?
just I just want to say that, I've been saying one thing, because people always ask me all the time, like, well, why do you live in Kirby? And the first thing I say, number one, it is safe. I feel safe. There's not too many places Councilman Alfred said not too long ago, where you can, my neighbor's kids, they're out on the street playing, I feel like we all feel safe, we're small, but we're not that small, but I do feel safe here. So that's one, and you can't beat that security of feeling safe here where you live. That's a big deal, especially as you get older. Safety is number one priority. Okay. Safety is number one priority. But thank you, for everything you do.
Any other questions? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Moving on to 7A, announcements on the city events and items of community interest. we'll turn this over to Monique.
Okay, so just want to let everyone know that our city offices will be closed for Veterans Day on next Thursday, 10th of November. And because of that, our next city council meeting is on the 18th of November at 7 p.m. So I want to remind everyone about that. We already heard these dates, but again, save the date for Cookies with Santa on December 19th from 2 to 4 p.m. at John Sterling, followed by the annual Santa Parade that same day at 5 p.m. So those are all of our upcoming holiday events.
Thank you. 8A, request by mayor and council for items to be placed on future city council agendas and announcements on city events and community interest. Councilmember Street.
Okay, a couple things. Monique, I asked, we talked about the agenda being posted on the city website and the fact that we don't post the entire packet, so residents don't get the details of what we're gonna talk about. The cities that include the previous, minutes, the unapproved minutes and the supporting documents in their packets on their website are Cibolo, Shirts, Universal City, and Live Oak. They do that. Selma, Converse, and Marion do not. They only post the agenda. I just think it would be a good idea to do that so residents are informed of what we're gonna talk about. It's sometimes more general on just the agenda. If they have the supporting materials, sometimes it might help them know what we're doing. Also, I'd like to request that the city report all board committee meetings to be posted on the Kirby CM Facebook page and the updated city website when it gets updated. Not everybody can attend the meetings in person and will assist in keeping the residents informed, particularly if there's an opening on that committee, because right now we have two that have an opening and, you know. If this needs to be an agenda item, can we add it to the agenda? And I think, Mr. Ives for this week's Government 101, taking us through Public Works and sending us over to the animal shelter to see all the babies. It was very informative. Thank you to the chief too for helping us with that. And I thank all our city employees and you all want to say warm evening. Thank you.
Councilmember Greider.
I'm getting a lot of, comments and questions and concerns, I guess, about, the entrance to the Dollar General store. People are saying every time they go in the Dollar General store, they're gonna run them out to their car. So is that city, or is that our responsibility, or is that the Dollar General? It is our responsibility. Okay, because I know that, you know, I mean, obviously, I know that Public Works working hard. Is there any way that we can possibly maybe in the future take care of that area? Because when you drive, I don't know if you drove up briefly.
Oh, yeah, I go to the dog store all the time. I know exactly.
Okay, you know
I know the maneuvers so that they don't fall in the hole.
Okay, I just want to throw that out there. Yeah, okay. Just want to throw that out there, because everybody's like, okay, so I put it out there publicly. Again, as the mayor said earlier, I want to thank DJ Joyce for all that she does to support our city, and, she donates her time, resources, and money to the city. We appreciate those services. I just want to publicly thank her. This last Saturday, the city of Kirby had a second youth event, hosted by San Antonio Youth Rugby Academy, and we actually had double the participation. It was awesome, and we actually had family, 3 kids, and the mother signed up to play rugby to be on the team. So that is awesome. Our next event will be November 20th, so hope to see you guys there then. Again, all ages welcome, and male and female welcome. Okay. Also, I want to thank everyone who came out this past Monday. Traveled the trail event. We walked 1.7 miles. We walked and talked, and that was a good event. It was nice weather. It was nice to get out there. So our next time that we're going to walk together at Hugo Lynch Park is the meeting area. It will be 5:30 p.m. I changed the time because of the time change coming up, and I don't want us to be out there when it's dark. So it'll be 5:30 PM to 6:30 PM, December 1st, we'll walk in the end, we'll meet at Hugo Lynchburg. Okay, and Veterans Day is coming up, so I want to thank everyone who has served and who is serving. I appreciate you, and thank you for your sacrifice. Happy birthday, Dad, I love you. And everyone have a great weekend.
Mayor Pro Tem Grant.
Oh, no, we just started that.
Councilmember Alfalfa.
I have my same spiel as always. This past week, I had one loose dog at my house, and my business faces Dairy Queen. I took pictures of 2 dogs that were loose at Dairy Queen. If you can, please keep an eye on your pets. They're roaming around. The 2 at Dairy Queen, they were hungry. They were literally trying to go inside Dairy Queen because they were hungry. I tried to catch them, which didn't work. They were scared, and I would hate to see my pet out there. One of them did have a collar, the other one didn't, and the one that came to my house did not have a collar. That one, we figured out who that dog, who the dog was. I don't know who the owner was, but we figured out that apparently the dog runs around Kirby, so people knew who she was. But, so just a reminder, keep an eye on your pets, especially if they're outside. That's all I have.
Councilmember Martin.
I want to thank everybody for coming. I appreciate the city for everything you do. Clerk work, our police, staff, did an excellent job. Thank you so much. I wanted to bring up the issue that one of the councilmen brought up about the potholes in front of Dollar General. It'd be nice if we come to a new store and not have any acres, we tear our vehicles up. And I know that we're working hard on potholes here in the city. I'm thankful for them getting prepared. And I want to thank BJ Boyd for doing the garage sale, giving proceeds to the city. And I just want to, we'll see when for Thanksgiving. Have a happy Veterans Day, and that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Martin. I have an update from our, from Norma from the Kirby Senior Center. Their Halloween this year was a huge success again this year. Their center will be closed on Veterans Day. Their next board meeting is next Monday. And as we heard earlier, they do have 3 bids on their gazebo. Thanksgiving Day, y'all will be open on Thanksgiving Day, Norma, is that correct?
No, we'll be serving on the 23rd to the seniors that need a meal. So we did it last year, a little bit different, it was a drive-through, but I think it's gonna be small because there's some seniors there that don't have anybody, so we're just gonna feed, and their clients that belong to the center there, so they're registered, so they don't have anybody, so we're just gonna serve them lunch there on the 23rd.
And last but not least, the senior center will be closed on the 26th of November. That would be the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, I do have one other announcement before
Go
you
ahead.
adjourn. So, we'll be posting this, but, we know that the 10th is Veterans Day, but we actually have scheduled that day, a contractor is going to do that patch, Old CDA Road at Ackerman and Gibbs Sprawl. So remember, y'all put that in the budget this year to do that section, so they are going to do that on that day. So they said it'll be minimal road closure, but just want to put that out there now.
Okay.
I thought Veterans Day was the 11th.
The holiday is the 10th, the Thursday the 10th. Is that the right date? It might be Thursday, sorry. Okay, whatever Thursday is. I could be wrong. It's the 11th, okay. So, on Veterans Day, that's correct, that's the day that is scheduled to do the work.
I also want to thank BJ Boyd for her donation and all of her hard work. She is a very valued member of our community, and I hope that she is feeling better soon, because I know that she said that she had been sick. This year on Halloween, I was not planning on being home. I had I did no planning, and for some reason, I was home, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have no candy. I ran up to the dollar store. And let me tell you, I bought all the candy I could, and I am so glad that I did, because I cannot remember the last time that I seen the amount of children trick-or-treating on our streets. It was the most wonderful thing that I've seen. And thank you, Lord, I ran out of candy because I would have been eating it. So I hope that, we can continue. I also want to commend our police department on Halloween night for their patrols, to keeping our streets safe and keeping our children safe, and the adults who also trick-or-treated that night. And I also want to mention that our weather, it's getting cooler, and we also need to think about our pets. If you're outside, you're cold, well, you know what, so are they. So please be conscious of your pets, bring them in, care for them as they should be as a member of your family. That's the way I care for mine. With Veterans Day coming up, I want to thank all of our service members, our veterans who have served our country, and that, we wouldn't have the country that we have today if it wasn't for our veterans. So I want to say thank you very much. I also want to extend a special thank you to everybody that has reached out to me in the past 2 weeks, to me and my family. Thank you. It has touched my heart, so thank you very much. And last but not least, I want to thank our police, our fire, our public works, and all of our admin staff, our city manager. You do a fabulous job, every single one of you, and I want to thank you for choosing Kirby, because we do value you here in Kirby, and we want to keep you because we don't want you to go anywhere. With that said, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and meeting adjourned. Thank you.
It's adjourned, right? It's adjourned?
Yes.
No problem. I was, and this doesn't have to be perfect, but it is adjourned. I was gonna ask for a future agenda item pushed by citizens, so, can I see that, you know?
You sure can.
Okay. It's gonna be concerning those that are taking them as police. Most of the guys that want to be.
You can do that through the record.
Okay, just want to make sure you know that there's words and everything behind that. And thank you for the professional.
Thank you.
So, we think we can change the sentence. My bag is killing me. My bag feels like
I'm like, man, Dr. Roy will come walking about, people that are distracted, those of us are kind of listening. Well, I understand you might be journal, but you don't have to talk aloud, especially on this matter. So you were very abrasive, and I don't like it. So I'm gonna let you know too. You are I just asked. I don't.
Herman's Kirby.
Yeah. It's found this. Oh, man, yeah, we found it. You never want to walk out first. I'll tell you that. There he goes. There he goes.
She said it's supposed to be rolling around like this.
Hey, you never see Grant walk out first. You never see him walk out first. I'll tell you what.
He was gone.
I was
gonna catch him.
Yeah, he's going to say it's my fault, so Miss Man needs to come back next week and be a jerk about it. That's what's gonna happen. It's a reason why. It's a reason why.
Did you get that number?
Shaw is going on.
Yes. Well, I got it off on my bike.
Especially walking around like this.
It should be, but you can't hear anything. I got it on.
I'm gonna try to make it
Those are all Coach's best friends. Oh, I know. She actually is part of the furniture. Yeah. So is Mr. Shaw.